This is what you've been waiting for. This is it. You're finally in high school. Welcome home, foodies. Welcome to Fremd High School. Room 112 is also known as the Foods Lab. The Guide to Good Food will be your guide to a good semester. The easiest way to remember the 4 steps to food safety are CSCC. The first C stands for clean. You always want to make sure you not only clean but sanitize your workstation. It's extremely important to keep you healthy. Clean equals healthy. The next letter, S, stands for separate. You need to separate your foods to avoid cross-contamination. Cross-contamination is when bacteria transfers from one food item to another. So you always want to make sure that your cooked foods stay with your cooked foods, and your uncooked foods or your raw foods stay with your raw foods. You never want to use the same plate or utensils with cooked foods that you used with raw foods. You need new ones. The third letter, C, the second C, stands for cook. You want to make sure that your food is cooked to the correct internal temperature. If it's meant to be cold, it needs to stay below 40 degrees. If it's meant to be cooked, it needs to be maintained at an internal temperature of at least 140 degrees. The different types of proteins that you use, beef, pork, chicken, fish, will have different internal temperatures themselves. But for the most part, you need to keep the food out of the danger zone, which is 40 degrees to 140 degrees. The final step in the 4 steps to food safety is to chill your food. You want to make sure that your food stays out of the danger zone. Remember, danger zone is 40 to 140. Chilled foods need to be kept below 40 degrees. Between 40 and 140 is when bacteria will multiply the fastest. Hot foods should be kept at above 140 degrees. If, however, they drop below that temperature, they need to either be reheated to above that temperature or chilled below 40 degrees within 2 hours. Food should not be left in the danger zone, 40 to 140. You're going to know that by the end of the year. Food should not be left in that temperature danger zone for more than 2 hours. Safety is the key to a good experience in any kitchen. The appropriate flame level should always be used. You never want a knife that's too large for the task at hand. Pot handles should always be turned inward. Make sure you always set a timer. And pot holders, not a dish towel or a rag, should always be used when you're doing anything inside the oven. Notice that the oven door was all the way down, and you close it with your hand. Chairs should not be left away from the table. Someone could trip. Always push them in. The labs will be evaluated by the same rubric. Each student, each lab, each time. H266, Modern Cuisines, Critical Learning Standard, is to demonstrate food safety and sanitation procedures required for success in food production.